G'day everyone, welcome back to the shop. Been hiding this for a while, I haven't shown this on the channel. This is a very old or a vintage Waldown cast iron surface plate. And they were predominantly used in workshops and of course in a lot of high schools here around Australia, especially in Victoria where I live. Now these usually come with a big cast stand that bolts to the bottom of them and they sit in the middle of the workshop. We usually keep a timber cover over them that stops the students from whacking them or drilling into them. The cast iron stand you may have seen in a previous video of mine of my GMF grinder with a big 5/8 inch of a shaft and sits on a cast stand. It's similar to that. Now I'll flip it up to show you that it is a Waldown. You can see it, Waldown is cast in here, guys. You can see this mounting point here for the stand. Right, so right, I'll put it back down on the table. It's got a fair bit of weight in it. Now, I don't have enough room in my shop, to put one of these stands in here. It's just going to get more stuff in the way. It's quite tight at the moment, the way it is, but it works for me. It's a one-man shop, and it's my little, how would you say, my hobby room, yeah? Anyway, silly me, I've left this sitting on a shopping trolley to my left here for probably a good 1 to 2 years, okay? And what I didn't realise is that I've got a roller door behind me here, and of course when the rain hits it and moisture comes in, I got quite a lot of surface rust on here. Now, this was wash ground when I picked it up. A friend of mine gave me this, so thank you, Peter Mish, and he had it wash ground. Now, I believe in the US you call it Blanchard grinding or something like that. Okay, and you can still see these big wash grinding marks in it. So what I did to get the surface rust off, I just ran a razor blade and just dragged a razor blade over it to get all the surface rust off. And then I hit it with one of my good quality stones and stoned the table in a figure-8 pattern. You make sure I use the whole fat of the stone. Now it's going to be good enough for what I want to do. I'm not doing aerospace. I don't want to be micron precision. If I can get to a tenth of a micron, I'd be happy, all right, in here, not the micron. So anyway, what I want to do with this, guys, I want to cut the top of my bench and lay it into my bench, okay, and get it down. Now I'm just thinking how deep I put it into the bench. I think I might lay it all the way down, so I'll get my circular saw and I'll cut a square, and then I'll have a jacking beam underneath this to hold it up and maybe get it level, all right? So let's get into it, guys, and let's see how I go, and hopefully I keep all my fingers by the end of the video. I've got it all cleaned up, and I cleaned up the sides as well. It had been bashed around a little bit. It had some nicks on here, on the edges, so I just went gently with a smoothing hand file and just took them off the bottom here. You can see that's cleaned up rather well. I can still see the grind marks from the factory. And what I want to do now, I want to paint around this edge here. I'm just going to use this blue colour, and that's the colour I used on the frame for my little CNC lathe. I've covered it up with painter's masking tape, just so I don't get paint on the top table. Yes, I could have used some paper, but I don't have any paper at home, any butcher paper or even computer paper for that matter. Rather cold in the workshop here this morning. My American friends will laugh at me. It's about 14 degrees Celsius, which is 58 degrees Fahrenheit. Now you'll probably laugh at me, but it's rather cool. I've got the kerosene heater on over there, and no doubt my buddy Kevin Ellingson over there in Fargo, he'd probably be water skiing in this climate. Unlike us, we're a bit sooky like that. We don't like the cold. Righto, I'm just going to turn this around a little bit. Got a bit of cardboard here underneath it, just so to try to help protect it. I rather like the colour blue. I'm not going to get too much on. I don't want it to run. I'll just cover that top coat there and let that dry before I put a second coat on it. I've marked out where I need to cut here today, and this surface plate's roughly 460 by 460 square. So it's a little bit under that. I've gone to the full 460. I have to be careful. I've got a beam running down here, a beam here, a cross beam here, and a cross beam here. So I should fit right in the centre. So with my saw here today, I'll plunge come down. I'll set up a straight edge so I don't, so I can follow my line and don't guess it. Now it's not falling out because obviously it's still caught on the corners. So I might just drop in there with a hacksaw blade. I don't have a saber saw in here, but it's on the bloody cusp, I know that. Now I literally don't understand what I was thinking before when I said hacksaw. I was going to use a hacksaw blade, you know, but I forgot I got a bloody panel saw here, or a general purpose hand saw, so... Done. Now I've got a bloody leg sticking out over here, so I'm going to struggle to cut that bastard. Here we go. Corner's done. Right. I'm gonna have to break it out. That's that leg I was telling you about. You can see where I've cut into it, but anyway, it is what it is. All my family were carpenters back in the day. Father, brother, uncles. I'm the only one that went into the metal trade, and that's why I bloody hate timber. You can't weld it. It's hard to machine. So I was going to use timber in here, but didn't have enough timber on hand and didn't have enough screws long enough really. So I've just made a steel platform up. Now I made a bit of a mistake. I've got 30 by 30 here. And I thought I had more 30 by 30, but it was actually 25 by 25. I didn't have enough length for this. So I've had to jerry rig it and put it on the outside there. Alright, so hopefully this will encapsulate those two rows there, guys. So I'm going to MIG it in position now. Now don't look too hard at the welds here. They've got no load bearing on them at all, but that should sit across those two there. Rightio guys, I'm going to try and lift this in here now. I don't know how well it's going to work. I've got my magnetic table bolted upside down here on the plate and got some little straps over it. I just want to take a little bit of the weight. And you might be able to look down the bottom left corner of the video there. You can see how I've jerry-rigged that outrigger. I need to fix that outrigger one day. I'll just try and see if I can slide this without getting my fingers underneath it. Now if it does let go, that's okay because I've got a table underneath it. Right. I'll try and snug it over. It wants to go. It's a little bit tight, but I think I've got it. Well, it's the next day in here in the workshop, and what I've done, I've lifted it back out again with the magnetic table. And the reason I did that, usually with surface plates, they should be bolted on 3 points, so 1, 2, 3. This was designed to bolt down to a cast table, to a cast stand with 4 bolts. So I put some little rubber pads down because when I put it in, it just had a tiny little wobble in that back corner. So hopefully these rubber feet will address that. If not, I'll put another one in and just see if it will sink down over time. So I'll try and lift that back in now. A hold of the winch handle now and try and just get a little bit of weight off this and gently try to slide it back into position without it decapitating one of my fingers, or degloving I should say. It's a little bit rocky. Hopefully those rubber will squash over time, and that should be much better. So let's get this out of the way. Swing the jib out of the way. And really hard to get the magnetic table off here. I've got to try and slide it because I can't lift it. It's especially now that I took the masking tape off the top. All right. Okay, we got it. So as you can see, when you're at home alone, you've got no one to help you. Sometimes you just got to think outside the box. I've just given it a quick wipe down. These are a couple of precision stones that Michael Connor gave me. He cut these in half and surface ground them on his surface grinder, I think with a CBN wheel or something like that. So if we put this over the top and just have a listen, just to knock off any little high spots that might be on the edges, so just a little figure 8. A little bit of a high spot in that corner. Now I'll just come down in the middle there. Just doing some figure 8s. And I'm not actually cutting anything off the top. There's a burr there or a high spot. It will, the stone will definitely find it. There we have it. Now that's not too bad. There is some little bit of residue pitting in there. It's not that deep. It's hard to see. You can see the speckling. For what it is, guys, I'm very, very happy that I've got this back out of the storage and being able to use it. Being from a second-hand from a secondary college, usually you'll find these, they weld on top of them, they strike them with hammers. So to be honest, to find one in this age and this good a condition, I was probably very lucky. All right, because they cop a flogging in a high school. Especially as a lot of times teachers don't monitor the students' behaviour, or they do it behind the teacher's back. So I've got my finger dial full stretch here on the table, and I've zeroed in on this front left-hand corner. Now this is not an accurate way you do this at all, so don't think I'm showing you how to do it. I'm not. This is all I've got to show you how level or how true this table is. Okay, so if I just gently pull it across halfway and I lock the magnet down again, I'm 20 micron, back to here to 20. Now when I first got my surface grinder up and running, this was the first block that I surface ground. So the magnetic base wasn't true to the table, and this will give you a good indication. You just be careful here as I slide it along. So that block is about 45 to 50 micron out over that distance, all right? So it will do its intended purpose, what I want to do with it. I predominantly want to use it for marking out with the vernier height gauge, which I don't have yet. That's something I need to buy, but they're quite expensive. Well, if you're still here, thanks for following along, and thanks for staying with it to the end. That's it. That's a wrap. I'm happy with what I've got. Yeah, hey, it's not a granite surface plate. That was never the intention. All up, this owes me time. That's it. I was given the cast iron plate for free. That was very kind of Peter. Thank you. You know, the precision stones, they were donated for free by Michael Connor. Thank you. Right angle plate here that I can help me to mark things out. That was donated to me by Wayne Pitt. Thank you, Wayne. And this will just help expand my capabilities in my little home machine shop. Like I said before, I'm not splitting microns here. You know, that's not the game of my little home workshop. I'm not doing aerospace. I'm wrapped. Okay, I've got something that I've never had, and I'm currently 3D printing a top for this in my bamboo printer. And what I've done, I've designed up a quarter, and then it should snap together and glue together to cover this, to protect it. And I'll put an oily rag on top to help stop that surface rust coming again in the workshop. Thanks guys. Hey, if you stuck this long, please give me a thumbs up, place a comment. It helps with the algorithm if you don't mind. Good on you. Thank you. See you on the next video.